Billie Eilish dropped a new album, Hit Me Hard and Soft. I'm gonna start this one.
Go ahead.
As the resident Billie Eilish fan, I have to say I am very disappointed with how this record came out. But I have to put it in a different perspective. She is a mega mainstream artist now, possibly one of the probably top 10 biggest pop artists right now.
Uh-huh.
Arena level, fucking headliner, festival level. She's fucking crushing it right now. I think she's like 22 or something. She can't make fucking bad guy over and over again, you know? And I just have to keep telling myself that. I use that as an example. That was probably one of my least favorites off the record. Off When We All Fell Asleep, Where Do We Go? So I have to tell myself, because she's so mainstream, also she's fucking growing, she's growing up. She has to make music that's going to appeal to a larger audience, something that's more palatable for the 70 million monthly listeners she has. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. And this album will do that. I think it has good moments. I definitely do think it's better than Happier Than Ever. Like miles better than Happier Than Ever.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the title track. That title track is incredible. As I said, each song is just okay for me. Just okay. Nothing really. It's kind of like the same thing with the Zayn album, where it kind of feels like every song is kind of the same BPM, but it's like then it's like randomly on like two tracks out of an entire record, it has like a weird little funky ending where she gets a little silly, and she does like a little hyper pop moment or something, and it's like, why didn't you just do this for the entire song?
Mm-hmm.
I understand like accents in songs, like, ooh, we're gonna add this little guitar riff or something. You could have done that for a whole song and it would have been okay. You didn't have to do it for a whole album, but you could have done like a fucking rock song. You could have done something that would have broken up all of the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
There was something else that the bass lines on this record were great though. I do
Yeah.
have to say, it feels like she like rediscovered the bass line for herself since that last record, and I like it. Sounded great. It was very forward, bass heavy. That was good. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's all I got.
It's funny that you say that, like, you were, although I saw it coming based on what we were talking about this morning. Um, I like the record. I don't have it anything to compare it to other than her last record, though, because
Oh yeah.
you were the one that was like, we're gonna check this record out, we're gonna cover it. I was like, too cool back when that first record came
Ew,
out
Billie
to
Eilish?
listen to something cool and popular. So I never checked it out. But I did not like the last record, Happier Than Ever.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a snooze fest. But,
One way ticket to fucking Mimiville, man.
dude, for real. But so I really didn't have much expectations going into this record. Not to mention, she made the very bold decision to not have any singles, which is crazy. But only an artist of her caliber could do that. But I would just like to say that the listening parties she did were very cool. I didn't realize that she was going to be at those listening parties. She was dancing around on stage because like she totally could just fill an arena solely based off the hype of the album and not have to be there. But the fact that she was there was cool. With that being said, I really enjoyed the record. I did not like the way it opened. The way it opened, I thought that we were sitting down and getting ready for another Happier Than Ever. We were getting Happier Than Ever part 2 because Skinny is slow.
Slow as fuck.
But after that, the record picks up in no time. She wastes no time getting it going with Lunch. And
Lunch is great.
Yes.
I do like that one.
And then from that point forward, the record basically just cruises. I like the 2, 3, 4 track run. Those 3 tracks, Lunch, Chihiro, maybe, and Birds of a Feather. I like those 3 songs. The Greatest, the ending on that, the build up, it's just like I can hear that shit in a live setting and I got goosebumps, and it is not related to the fact that my AC was too cold in my car. I got goosebumps listening to that. The song after that, I'm not even going to try to pronounce. That one's funky groovy, but the title is in French, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But I really enjoyed this entire record. I saw obviously people freaking out about this online. She's an absolutely massive artist. But I went into this with no expectations because, people, if an artist is big enough, they could drop a literal pile of shit and people will eat it up. So I did not go into into it with any sort of expectations other than this is Billie Eilish. She didn't put any singles out. Let's see what's going to happen. And I came away thoroughly enjoying the record. I think that there's a lot of cool different influences on here, with there being some pop, some rock, there's electronic, some things that like remind me of like Daft Punk. Maybe that's because that's the only electronic band I really listened to, but it felt very Daft Punky, some of the electronic parts. As you mentioned, the bass lines are so thick and groovy on this album. Definitely a highlight, and overall I just very much enjoyed it, which I didn't expect.
That's crazy. That's crazy how
it
flopped. Flip-flops.
Yeah, but
that's
like this, but like the things that she's doing on this record, not throughout, but some of the things that she does on this record are like what I gravitate towards in popular music, like the very groovy pop stuff, as well as just straight up like structured pop songs. I enjoy some of those too. I mean, I love Tate McRae. But like that, the groovy shit is what I'm here for. It makes sense that I came away liking this record. But I didn't expect to. I thought I was gonna pull out angsty me and be like, "Oh, she's popular. Ew." But overall, I enjoyed the record. Very, very stoked to see what happens with this, sold out headlining tour. I would assume, I would assume those tickets were gone before the virtual gates even opened. So yeah, very excited to see what's to come. And she's like number 14 in the world on Spotify, so maybe she'll finally dethrone The Weeknd in that number 1 spot.
Oh my god. Abel. Yeah, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.